Alrighty. So now we get to the point where we've talked about different types of patterns. We've talked about number patterns. We've talked about geometric patterns. But I want to formally describe two main type of patterns that we're going to be talking about. And so after I give you their description and what they're called, we're going to go back and on that last column, we're going to talk about, or I guess last column, we're going to talk about which ones are of one type or the other. So there's two main types. One of them is called arithmetic. Some people pronounce this word arithmetic. Arithmetic. And arithmetic patterns you add or subtract the same value each time. That's how I know I have an arithmetic sequence. So there's two types of patterns or sequences. Remember, sequence is the list of numbers, the ordered list of numbers. But an arithmetic pattern or an arithmetic sequence is one where you're adding or subtracting the same value every time. If you're not adding or subtracting the same value, but you are adding or subtracting different values, well, then that's not arithmetic. And then the other one is geometric. For those of you with a good memory from Algebra 1, I think you all talked about these two types of patterns in Algebra 1. Geometric patterns multiply or divide by the same value each time. If it's not the same number that you're multiplying every time, if it's not the same number that you're dividing by every time, then it's not geometric. So it's either arithmetic, geometric, or it's I'm just going to say it's other. So this is a pattern that's not arithmetic nor geometric. I'm going to leave this here on the screen. So you have these three, I guess, labels that we're going to apply. There's different types of patterns, but we're specifically in pre-calc going to study arithmetic sequences or arithmetic patterns and geometric sequences or geometric patterns. So remember, arithmetic, we're adding and subtracting the same number. Geometric, we're multiplying and dividing by the same number. Other means it's neither one of the other two. So I'm going to go to what we started here. And the first one was we were adding 7 each time. So is that arithmetic or is that geometric? That would be arithmetic. You can just put an A. A for arithmetic. Number 2, we're dividing by 2 each time. Okay, so if we're dividing by 2 each time, that has to be geometric because it's the same number, 2, you're dividing by every time. Number 3, we're subtracting 4 each time. That means it's arithmetic. Number 4, we're adding consecutive odd numbers. So we're adding, it could be arithmetic, but we're not adding the same number. We're adding consecutive odd numbers, different numbers. So this is one of those other. So you see the difference between number 1 and number 4. Both of them are adding, but one of them is adding the same number every time. One of them is adding different numbers different times. And then number 9, multiplying by consecutive whole numbers. Again, multiply, I would think it's geometric, but it's not multiplying by the same number. It's multiplying by different numbers, times 2, times 3, times 4. So this is going to be an other. I can even do the labeling here for number 10 because I noticed that I'm adding, but I'm not adding the same number. So number 10 is an other. But when I get to number 11, I'm adding the same number. So therefore, that's an arithmetic. And if you want to write the full word, you can. I think most people would just write the letter. But that's how we can tell. For the ones that we did, those are the designations that we have now put on or labeled the ones that we did. You will be doing 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 12. I would like you to figure out what type it is and then bring it on Monday next week so that we can discuss on Tuesday, I'm sorry, next week, so we can discuss what you got. And that's the start of our pattern finding, is classifying what type of patterns are we talking about, arithmetic, geometric, or other. We're going to come back. We'll do one last video. We're going to wrap this up, and then we'll be ready for the next part.